Joining me now on the day's news is Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace. Andrew, it's nice to catch up with you. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this evening. I want to start
You're on fire, Danica.
I'm on fire tonight. I'm back from holidays and on fire. Thanks for that. Now, look, Andrew, I want to start with Penny Wong's peacekeeping mission, which is what I'm calling it, to Washington, D.C. to try and patch up this relationship. And I just think she's got the weight of Labor on her shoulders. But do you think that the Prime Minister should actually be the one on the plane himself to deal with the issues at hand?
Well, in some respects, yes. In other respects, no. We all know that Penny Wong calls the shots in the Labor Party. The Prime Minister is just the front man, I think. But in all seriousness, no, though, the Prime Minister, I've been urging the Prime Minister to do his absolute level best to get meetings with Donald Trump, whether that was in Canada, whether it was at The Hague in the Netherlands with the NATO, or in the Oval Office. This is the most important relationship that Australia has between Australia and the US. And because of that relationship, it's incredibly important that the Prime Minister of the day gets along with the President of the day and vice versa. What we've seen really over the last 7 months or so, in fact, really realistically, much longer than that, because the Prime Minister's use of injudicious language towards President Trump. I mean, I don't know whether he thinks that President Trump, this information doesn't get back to him, perhaps, but the reality is those chickens are coming home to roost. And I think that the President really doesn't, perhaps he doesn't like the Prime Minister, but be that as it may, the relationship it seems to be on very, very rocky ground. But the Prime Minister has to pony up. The Prime Minister's job, irrespective of whether he likes Donald Trump or not, is to work on that relationship, because it is so incredibly important to 27 million Australians. So, you know, I've been very strong in my encouragement of the Prime Minister to get that meeting with Donald Trump. Perhaps the reason he won't go over there and at least try is because he's too scared of failure.
Well, I mean, we know his previous comments about Donald Trump. You know, he's scared of Trump. And it was just interesting today to hear that pollster on Sky News saying that half of the problem is the ambassador, being Kevin Rudd. And we've known for a long time that Rudd's comments haven't gone down well with the Trump administration, yet here we are and nothing's being done. Look, I want to move on to another topic now, Andrew. I want to talk about this green crusade. It's not going too well. The climate zealots will be in mourning today because Australia's largest green hydrogen project has been terminated. This is, of course, the long-spruiked $12.5 billion Central Queensland hydrogen project. It's been touted, though, as a huge deal for green energy, but not anymore. Have a listen.
Will be leading the global green hydrogen revolution.
And what we know is that the green hydrogen sector has an enormous potential in this country.
Only Labor has the plan to ensure that Australia is part of and is leading that hydrogen revolution.
Yes, Andrew. Well, that's what they said about the project. It's over. Is this another nail in the coffin for the net zero fantasy?
Well, it should be a nail in the coffin for Chris Bowen's career, because this guy, whatever he touches, it turns to you know what. The reality is that I was amazed and really saddened to see 99% of these green energy hydrogen projects haven't got past the approval stage. Nothing has actually eventuated, and yet the government has spent tens of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money, and it is for naught. And, you know, this is just another example of another stuff up by Chris Bowen in his absolute ideological fantasy that he is driving and is costing Australians billions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I let you go, I just want to ask you about the shambles that is the NZYQ a court decision. You've got the Home Affairs Minister saying that the preventative detention laws, that the bar set by the court is too high. That's why they're saying that they haven't used these laws that they rushed through Parliament. But, Andrew, this is not good enough. Why has Labor not been able to get it right when it comes to the release of these immigration detainees?
Well, they haven't got it right because they don't believe in them. That's the short answer. I mean, the Labor government brought us back to Parliament to specifically pass these laws in an emergency arrangement. And they've not brought one successful application to the court. We have consistently said as an opposition, if you're having trouble, if you think there's problems from a judicial perspective, from a legal perspective, we will work with you to do whatever is necessary. Whatever the advice that you're getting that says this is problematic, let's fix it. But the Labor Party are once again going soft on these NZYQ people, and it's a huge problem. As we're seeing, people are being subjected to all sorts of criminal activity, some as serious as murder. And Australians are at risk by this group of detainees, or what should be detainees, and the Labor Party is not taking this seriously.
No, well, they don't deserve to be here. I mean, that's the simple reality. They don't deserve a right to be in this country, and that's the deal of it. Andrew Wallace, we've got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this evening. Really appreciate it.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.